This podcast is sponsored by Pooks.ai. Dive into a revolutionary reading experience with personalized ebooks and audiobooks, tailored just for you. Discover your next favorite book at Pooks.ai for free. That's POOKS.ai.
How peer learning strategies boost personalized education and engagement. Discover how peer learning strategies enhance collaboration, motivation, and understanding within personalized education and AI-driven environments. Why peer learning strategies are a game changer in education. Hey, I've been thinking a lot about how people learn best, especially when it comes to school or any kind of personal learning environment. You know, a lot of us just picture a classroom where a teacher talks and everyone listens, but there's this other really cool approach called peer learning that's been gaining a lot of popularity, and honestly, it's pretty amazing. So, what exactly is peer learning? It's basically when students or learners help each other understand material, work together on projects, or even teach what they've learned to one another. It's not about competing or just sitting back while a teacher does all the work. It's about collaboration and sharing knowledge in a more informal, friendly way. Now you might ask, why does peer learning work so well? Well, first off, people tend to remember things better when they explain them to someone else. Ever notice how you grasp a concept more clearly after you've taught it to a friend? That's because teaching is a form of active learning, which helps cement understanding. On top of that, when you learn something from a peer, it often feels less intimidating because they're coming from a place that's relatable. They might explain it in a way that's easier to understand, using language or examples that just click. And here's a fun fact. Peer learning also helps with building communication and teamwork skills, which are super important no matter what you do in life. When you're discussing ideas, debating, or problem solving in groups, you're practicing how to express yourself clearly and how to listen. Both huge skills that make personal learning environments richer and more engaging. One strategy that's popular in peer learning is something called reciprocal teaching. It sounds fancy, but it's pretty straightforward. Learners take turns being the teacher in small groups. They ask questions, summarize, predict what might happen next, and clarify tricky points. It basically scaffolds learning so that everyone is participating actively rather than zoning out. Another one is study groups, which most people might already be familiar with, but the best groups have a clear goal and a good mix of strengths. For example, some group members might be better with memorizing facts, while others might be great at making connections between ideas. Together, the group covers more ground and fills in each other's gaps. And there's plenty of evidence that group members stay motivated longer when they feel supported. What's really interesting is that peer learning doesn't only work for younger students or traditional classrooms. Adults in workplaces, hobby classes, even online forums are using these strategies to boost their understanding and skills. When you combine peer learning with modern tools, like AI, personalized learning platforms, you get a powerhouse combo. AI can help tailor challenges or questions to what each learner needs, and peers provide the human connection and support. Speaking of modern learning, there's a platform called Pooks.ai that lets you create personalized books. It's a great way to bring that personal learning energy into a format that's customized just for you, which complements the ideas of personalized education and peer learning perfectly. Imagine using a tool like this to generate content tailored to your group's learning needs, whether for school, work, or just curiosity-driven projects. Honestly, combining peer learning with tools that support personal learning helps make education feel less like a solo grind and more like a collaborative adventure. This boosts motivation, makes tough subjects more approachable, and often makes the whole experience more fun. So if you're ever stuck with a tough subject or want to level up your personal learning routine, try teaming up with friends or colleagues and give some peer learning strategies a shot. Swap teaching roles, form focused study buddies, or even create mini projects you can tackle together. And hey, if you want to take it a step further, check out Pooks.ai. You can create your personalized book now for free and make the learning process uniquely yours with a mix of AI-powered personalization and real-world collaboration. Learning doesn't have to be a lonely journey, and with peer learning strategies, it definitely doesn't have to be boring either.